Hi, this is Landever, and this is another in a series of videos that we're doing building chatbots with the Chatlink No-Code Chatbot Builder. This series is done in association with United School Administrators of Kansas. We're partnering with USAKANSAS to create some chatbots that are custom designed to support principals and school district leaders that can help them with a variety of administrative tasks. These chatbots are trained on research-based materials, and they are guided to just use those resource-based materials to help guide their answers and responses. This gives us a very high-quality response, eliminating a lot of hallucinations. Of course, it's still coming from a chatbot. We still want to do our due diligence and review things closely, but you're going to get some really good results out of this. And we also have the ability to fine-tune stuff. So we're going to just jump right in, and we're going to start building a chatbot for USAKANSAS. Okay, so we've logged into Chatlink, and we've just created this chatbot. There's absolutely nothing in it. Just created it while I was on pause, so you don't get to see that magic, but literally just clicking a button and giving it a name. And now we clicked on that, and that brings us to here. This is the dashboard for this chatbot. And this is going to give us all the statistics and usage of the chatbot. We have our builder doing on the left-hand side here is kind of where we're going to be controlling and managing the development and building and training of our chatbot. This is the builder area. We have a knowledge base. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to provide our chatbot with some knowledge. It's a pretty straightforward process. Click on knowledge base. And then we click on add new data or add new. And in this case, we're going to be adding 2 web pages that are actually PDF documents. So I'm just copying and pasting these 2 articles that help you to, they were selected and curated by one of our team at USAKANSAS, that because these articles are provide a lot of resources on how to plan professional development activities. So now our AI is trained on this important information and using a trusted source. So we can kind of see that by just clicking back on knowledge base, and here we see that what's going on. This is processed, this one is processing. Let's see what's going on. If there's Okay, so it'll just take a little bit. So it's pulling in that data. It's actually training the large language model that we're going to be using to power our chatbot. It's training it with that data. We have now a custom trained large language model, or soon. So I've clicked on Builder. I'll just go back again here. I click on Builder over here. This takes us to this unbounded workspace, and we've got some blocks, and we can look at our variables. We can do some configuration to our AI and tweak some other minor setting tweaks. The AI configuration, this is a really important one. So we're going to start here and click on that and click on instructions. And this is where we're going to give instructions to the chatbot. We're going to tell it how it's going to behave, its general purpose in life. And we're building this chatbot to be pretty focused on this one task. So we're going to add instruction and just click right here. And this is where we're going to type in the instruction. Okay, so I have entered in some general instructions to this chatbot, and this is really an iterative process. So we're going to come back to this, and we can add more instructions later, but kind of just to get started and kind of want to see how it's going to behave. This is the instructions that I've given it. You are an assistant to a public school administrator in Kansas, United States. Your experience is developing and managing professional development programs working across the K-12 spectrum. So I'm kind of priming it. I'm giving it some background of what it is, what it should be focused on. And this is actually going to help the large language model to really focus in on it's been exposed to an awful lot of information. So this is going to help it to pick and choose, the areas of focus that it should have. And it goes further and says, you've got 30 years of experience doing this work. So it's going to make it do a better job, but it's kind of weird, I know, but that helps in the prompting. Your role will be, so now I'm telling it what I am expecting of it. This is what you're going to be doing. This is the output you're going to be creating. I'm not leaving something up in the air. I'm going to be relatively specific to make sure that it's going to behave the way I want it to behave. Your role will be to provide both a summary of the research, but also an example of the process one should follow, items and issues to consider, and you will also produce a sample final product for them to use as a guide. So pretty natural language. I probably could wordsmith that a little bit better, but we're just going to go with that for now. So those are the overarching guiding instructions, and I could add more just by clicking new. And to give you an example, your name is Johnny or Joni, or you must act professional. So all of these are other types of instructions, but we can, like I said, it's an iterative process. So we'll be coming back to this area to really tweak and train the model. So now we're going to actually build this chatbot. And so in order to do this, well, the first thing we want to do is we're going to introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Chatbot. I'm good at doing this. And then we're going to have it provide some guiding questions, collect some information from people, and produce a result. So we'll start with our blocks, and we click on blocks, and it opens up this window here, and that allows us to click and drag and drop blocks onto this work surface, and we can connect them together, and we'll be configuring these blocks. So it's really straightforward programming concepts here. So we have a couple different types of blocks. We have send message blocks, and that's sort of these right here. We can send a text or an image or video or audio or even a slideshow of images. We have capture response blocks where we could have the user click buttons or enter text or fill out a form or enter some specific type of information. We have our AI response block. This we'll make use of, and you'll see that. We have logical conditioning blocks, and these allow us to kind of do the if this, then that type stuff, and really a lot of power within the logical conditioning blocks. We'll take a look at in probably a subsequent video. And then HTTP request blocks. These allow us to interact with websites and pull information from websites and post information to websites and fill out forms. So a lot of power that comes with the capability here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to throw our text block on and click, hold, drag, and I'm just going to drop it out here. Then when I click on it, it's going to open up a window on this side where I can, well, let's see what I did. I did a capture text. I don't want to do capture text. Let me delete that. What I want to do is a send message text. I want to have the chatbot greet the person. So when I click in here, now we can type a message for the chatbot to greet the person with. Okay, so I've given the chatbot its initial message to folks. It's just asking them, it says, hello, I'm a chatbot trained under the supervision of the USAKANSAS. My knowledge base includes good research on how to facilitate professional development workshops. So like create your own, click here, and what aspects of professional development workshops do you want to work on? So now we want to provide them with some options to select. And we're going to do that with buttons. So we're going to click on the blocks, and then we're going to want to capture a response from a button. And we're going to bring that, and we can actually just drag it straight under our message. We could drag it and make it its own block like that. Or we could drag it in, well, when we do it the first time, we can drag it in and put it right there where it'll expand and accept it. That kind of just helps keep this workspace a little bit neater because it can get pretty unwieldy pretty quick. So now we're going to enter some buttons. So we click here, and I guess when I did that, I pulled it right out. Okay, but I can put it back. Okay, so when we click here, it opens up this window over here, and we now can put our buttons in. So these would be buttons that people will select when they want to pick what they want to work on. This is all going to be related to something around professional development activities. So I'm going to go ahead and put some buttons in. Okay, as I'm starting to think about putting buttons together, I'm actually think it might be better, before we ask them what they want to do, we probably should collect some information from them about the professional development events, just to get some good background general information, because we're probably going to come back to the what do you want to do, and we don't want to follow that up with tell me about your event. So let's just ask them about the event one time, and then we can follow that up with other options that we can loop back to. So I'm going to actually pull out a form, and we're going to use that as our first input that we're going to take from people. So I just dragged and dropped and released and put that form out onto our work surface. And just to make things neat, I'll right click on that button that I pulled out a little prematurely. And now I'm going to click in here. Sometimes you got to click twice. Sometimes not. Anyway, so add field. So now this is going to be all the information that we want to gather from them about their event. So that'll help us to guide the chatbot as we go forward. So we've set the 3 buttons, and we've set a variable for each of those buttons. And when we want to see our variables, we can come over here, and this shows us there's some system variables that were just kind of created as default for us to use if needed. But then here are the variables that we've since added, and we can right here add some more variables to it variables are very helpful because that allows us to capture the information from the people who are using the chatbot, and then we can utilize what they're typing in the prompt or as part of our response to them. So now our next step will be adding the AI response. So we'll get that by clicking on blocks and drag and drop AI response out and release. And then we click right in the heart of it, and that's going to open up this dialog box on the side, and we're going to fill that in. We're going to have it use our knowledge base since we've already trained this AI on information on how to run a good professional development workshop. And we want to put our question in here. So our question and query, this is going to come from the information that the people filled out when they filled out the form. So that we asked for the focus of the activity and their learning goal and the group size. So we're now going to use all of those variables in a prompt, and that's the prompt that we're going to put forward to the AI. Well, actually, I think I need to get some more information, because just having the focused activity, learning goal, and the group size, that doesn't really tell me what the person who's using the chatbot wants to accomplish. Do they want to write a letter to the teachers telling them about the activity, or do they want to plan an agenda? So there's a lot of different things that you could be asking the chatbot to do. So we're going to need to collect some more of that information, and I think we'll put some buttons up for that. So we can add a button to our work surface by clicking on blocks, and we're going to go to capture response because we're going to want them to select a button, so we want to capture that response from them. So I'm going to click and drag, I'm holding, and now I'm going to release my mouse button, and I drop it onto the work surface here. And then when I click in here, it's going to open up the dialog box on the right, and that's how we're going to configure our button. And these will be button selections for everything that they want to do related to planning and implementing a professional development workshop. So I've gone ahead and I added a few buttons here. So, what do you want to do basically? So you want to write an email to promote the activity? Do you want to build an agenda? Do you want to generate a get to know you pre-activity survey? So obviously you can add a lot different buttons, and we sure will as we iterate on the development of this chatbot. But from just off the top of my head, those are some quick buttons. So just kind of follow the flow of our chatbot here. We've got the hello message. It's going to go and ask you to fill out a form, and then it's going to ask you some things that you want to do. And now we're going to send that information, all the general information about the activity that we've collected, information about what you want to do, and we're going to put that into an AI query, and that's how we're going to instruct our chatbot. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of testing here. The way I've structured this is we've got they're going to select on write an email to promote the activity, and that's going to take them right to this AI response, and that's going to hopefully produce a nice response. I haven't tested it yet, so we'll see how that comes about. So now we're going to save again and hit preview bot. Start a new chat. There we go. So now it's hello, I'm a chatbot trained. If you like to create your own chatbot, try to play along. You can do that for free. Get started with 2 chatbots for free. And if you click on this link, that's my affiliate link, and I'd be happy to provide you with some assistance. So just be sure to reach out to me. So we're going to type in the focus of the activity and fill out this, and we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, so I've entered in focus of the activity and the learning goal and some information about the group size, and just read that to you real quick. So the learning goal is learn about AI chatbots, develop your own chatbot to complement a lesson, and more deeply engage with students, discuss AI with colleagues, and work on a plan on how we can take control and use it for our advantage. So you notice I'm not a lot of wordsmith in there, kind of just a stream of consciousness. Learning goal, you will learn to build a chatbot and train. You will instruct the chatbot with knowledge it will use to answer questions. So again, just a stream of consciousness and group size, and there'll be 10 people, and by the way, they need to bring their technology, so laptops and phones would be good. So we'll see how the AI takes that. It's going to be able to incorporate that information or not, and we'll see what it produces. So the next step on our process after we've collected this activity is it's going to ask us what we want to do with it. So that's where we are right here. You want to write an email to promote the activity? Do you want to build an agenda? Do you want to generate a get to know you survey? So we know we've done some workflow for the write an email to promote the activity. So let's see what that looks like. And we'll see how the chatbot does. Now it's following this prompt, write an email to staff and also one to parents. The purpose of the email is to introduce them to the workshop opportunity and to inform parents the workshop focus will be, and that will be filled in from the variable. The learning goals for the activity will be, and those again will be filled in from the variable. And the group size will be, and again, that's going to come in from there. So it's working through that. It's also looking at the initial instructions that we gave it when we first started, and I pull them up here. That is, you are an assistant to a public school administrator in Kansas. Your expertise is in developing, managing professional development workshops, and all of the instructions that we gave it at the beginning. So now let's see what it came up with. Here's my feedback on the draft email. Strengths. Okay, so it's providing us its feedback on its product, which is what we asked it to do. The email clearly outlines the learning objectives and activities of the AI chatbot. Generates excitement. Important logistics are included. Some suggestions. Consider providing a brief explanation of what chatbot is. So that's really good. You may also want to include a sentence or two about AI chatbots, specifically. Okay, so those are all good. So here's the sample email that it created. The subject is exciting professional development, learning development. Dear staff and parents, we're excited to announce the upcoming professional development workshop for our staff. Focus on artificial intelligence, chatbots. AI chatbots are computer programs designed to stimulate conversation with human users. So it's gone ahead and it's implemented its suggestions. So that's pretty cool. In the hands-on session, you will learn about AI chatbots and their potential in let's read this whole thing. AI chatbots are computer programs designed to stimulate the conversation with human users, and they have the potential of deeply engaging students and complement classroom lessons. In this hands-on session, you will learn about AI chatbots and their potential application in education. Develop your own custom chatbots to enhance and boost student engagement. Discuss the implications of AI in education with colleagues. Create a plan for how we can proactively leverage AI to benefit student learning. By the end of this workshop, you'll know how to build. So it's pulled all that information. Clearly, we could tweak our form and get some little bit better information out of them, but it's gone ahead and done a pretty good job. I think I'm just going to stop there and let's review that as a team, and we can decide what other buttons we might want to put here, and what other survey areas we would want, so we can collect the information that we need so that we can generate and think about what the product is that we want to generate. So I'm going to leave that here, and appreciate your sticking with me for that, and I look forward to discussing this with you. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I have done a little modification to the instructions. So we get to that over here, clicking on AI instructions, or AI configuration, and then click on instructions. So the instruction I added, well, actually I did two things. I modified the first instruction. So I took out the last part that talked about giving it its process and telling it to do a review first. So we'll see what impact that has. But then I also added this second instruction, which is a little bit larger. Let's a big second go. So as a virtual assistant designed to support principals and superintendents in K-12 public schools, your role is to exemplify excellence, leadership, operational efficiency. Your tasks include writing, correspondence, schedule, planning, assisting. Actually, I got all of this straight from ChatGPT. I told ChatGPT what I was looking to do. I was building a chatbot. I wanted to give it an instruction, and I told it I wanted it to be there to support a principal and what are the important things it needs to do. And it came back with this and went out of its way to say, here's specifically the prompt that you want to use. So professional tone and clarity, use clear professional. So it's just giving the AI its instructions. It's telling it how to behave, how to make its decisions, to be empathetic, diversity, inclusiveness. So it's collaboration, teamwork, innovation, continuous improvement. So all of the best practice, good behaviors that we want to be exemplified, we can. So that's how we modify this, and we, like I said before, we can just click add new and add additional instruction sets as well. So we're going to test the chatbot now. So with those instructions, I just pulled in these prompts. So for the focus of the activity, the prompt is series of after-school workshops, length TBD. Focus will be AI integration classroom. feature 5 topics for the workshop series and give a short description of the first one. So I didn't tell it what the topics are. I told it what it's about and what topics I want. And then for the learning goal, mastery of aforementioned 5 topics as they relate to the classroom. So pretty straightforward, very easy. Not a lot of thought put into that response, really. Some sessions will be, with regard to group size, the responses, some sessions will be district-wide, some will be building only, and others will be just grade level term. So check out what its response was, which was pretty good. All district staff, value staff, setting up, announced a series of workshops, integration of AI in the classroom. This is a great opportunity to learn more about this cutting-edge technology. The workshop series will cover the following 5 key topics. So these are the topics that it came up with based on my saying, give me 5. Introduction to AI and its potential application in education, using AI-powered tools, leveraging AI for automated grading and feedback, AI-driven data analysis to inform instruction, and identify struggling students, and ethical considerations and best practices. So then it goes ahead and gives a nice description of the first workshop, which is what I had asked it to do. And now it also throws a nice letter to parents and guardians, telling them what's going on. So all in all, I'd say this is a much better response than the first time, and obviously you need to attribute it to the added instructions that we gave it, because that's really the only change that was made.